in the game until late. How do you assess that one?
Oh no, very encouraged. I think the way that our guys controlled the game for a lot of those portions is something that you think our fans and our sponsors could walk away from the game going, that's a bit more around the vision of what we want to do. But yeah, really encouraged. I think some of the young guys, particularly the jobs that we asked them to do, and the manner and how they went about it was really good.
Were you pleased with the response from last week? Obviously, there was a lot of hand on the club after.
Yeah.
Put up for a good Friday.
Yeah, look, no doubt. I think if you look at it in isolation, absolutely. But I think we want to play the way that we play today. Yeah, each week we need to come out and understand that that's the manner and the way that we need to deliver our performance. And as you can tell from the last quarter, we've still got a bit to learn. There's no doubt.
Yeah, the fade out in the last quarter. Can you contribute that to the two guys that went out?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's probably an easier one to go to, I think, in regards to you lose a rotation, that type of thing. I still think there are times when the pressure comes, we need to learn how to deal with that better. Manage the game a little bit more, control the speed. I thought in the start of the last, we probably slowed it a little bit too much. We really didn't give Adelaide anything to deal with from that side of things, and so it ended up being in their front half for that portion. And then in the back half of that quarter with the centre bounce, it opened up again. So yeah, it's the rotations don't help. There's no doubt, but I think it's more about how we still need to go about our business. And the credit to Adelaide, in the end, they got hold of us, centre bounce, control what they needed to do, and put the scoreboard pressure on us.
How are those guys going with Donald and Cam 0 up?
Yeah, well, Cam will go into that 12-day cycle. So he's out for a couple or for those 12 days. Not sure about Luke's, what the severity of it looks like. They're never, the pecs are never great from that side of things. So that's what it looks like it is. We probably won't know the severity of it until we get a scan. Yeah, they're a bit of an unusual one, but they can sometimes be a bit nasty. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Just get a few guys back.
No, well, not in the short term. I don't think we will. I don't think Corey will be ready. Trent Dumont will probably start playing VFL next week. Robbie Tarrant's not ready. Josh Walker will probably come back in. So he's probably the other one that will be ready to go next week. So he just woke up a bit sore this morning, a bit sore. We had a bit of soreness main training session on Friday. Got him through yesterday, and then this morning it just wasn't worth the risk of where he was. So, but yeah, probably one, I think.
Curtis Taylor available? Or?
Yeah, Curtis played today. So Curtis was in the VFL. They had a really good win, which was great. So R2 played well, Curtis played well. Christian Cherry in the ruck played well today. So yeah, so there's some guys that are showing some good signs and form, which we need. I think I mentioned last week, it's really helpful when we have our VFL guys playing well and adding some internal pressure for selection.
I mean, Aiden Norton today to play a lot taller than what he usually
Yeah.
does. He fielded fantastic. I thought, what were your take on his performance?
Oh, look, terrific. I thought there was a few that were probably worth mentioning. I'm not a big one on individualising, but yeah, Bond plays taller. He competes really hard, and I think he makes it difficult for the opposition forwards, regardless of his size. So I thought Buckets did a terrific job on Tex as well today. I thought Kane Turner, when we moved him into the middle on Rory Laird, and we put Jack Marnie on Paul Seedsman to run with as well, and I thought he did a pretty good job on that. So that in those times, that's where we felt we had good control of the footy, and we were able to, get ourselves into an arm wrestle. I think some of the other things that we really liked was the movement of our ball, and particularly some of our young guys. When there's a couple of those chains when Lazaro, Powell, Marnie, Stevenson got hold of the ball. I mean, that's the vision, I guess, that we've got in our heads.
And I don't know if you saw the bump you must have obviously let Taylor in goal from Ben Cunnington. Anything in that? What were your thoughts?
I didn't have a close up in there. Looked like a free kick, but I don't know whether he made contact high or not. There's a lot of stuff we actually talk about. We sort of say it's a free kick, like it's probably, it's undisciplined in that sense, but we don't go back and review it and sort of go, oh, isn't, in regards to suspension. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what that looks like. So, but that's generally what we do. We don't look at it in that sense. We're too caught up in what we're trying to do.
That 6-6-6 free kick came at a pretty crucial
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, they can't count. We end up with 7. We just needed to squeeze one up on the wing. So sometimes what can happen is when you have one short in your rotations, you can get a bit of a cross message as to who's supposed to be going onto the wing. We think that's what happened. It's just an unfortunate. We had one warning, and then all of a sudden you end up with a free kick, and it's the ball's inside their forward end. So, look, it's not one that we felt like shifted momentum, but it doesn't help. It's a bit like the one last week when Larkey misses the goal. We have to be better than just saying, well, an incident like that derails our momentum or puts too much momentum into the opposition. We've got to learn how to fight that out. And so therefore it'd be nice. I'll have to go back and check on the vision to see whether or not we actually won the next one. That'll be the crucial one. It's not the one we lost, it's what we did about it for the next time.
Well, Zara and Will Phillips showed plenty today. Did you like Will Phillips' goal and he jumped the jumper?
No, it was pretty cool. I know he's grown really fond of Boomer's conversation, the way Boomer's been able to mentor him taking his jumper. So it was a pretty special time for Boone and for Will. I saw when Boone went out there, I gave him a high five out there as well. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, he showed a fair bit today, Will. We had a task for a couple of our young guys. We ran Powell and Phillips on Laird early. We thought that was a really good tool for those two guys to get them into the game. Laird got away from us a little bit. He's a good player, so that's when we flipped to Kane Turner. But as a result, I actually thought both of those young guys then stayed in the game. Sometimes a role like that, and then you don't quite get the job done in the manner that we wanted to, can sometimes derail their game. I thought they played exceptionally well after that for two young guys finding their feet in the AFL.
On Will Phillips, he only managed 60% game time. Is there a fitness concern surrounding him?
No, just rotations. In the end, we don't want to put him in the back end. We want to try and keep him more mid-forward. So we'll just assess that as we go. But it wasn't anything to do with his fitness range. So we'll have a look at that. I mean, we'd like him on there more, but sometimes the play gets stuck on the other side and trying to get a message out and becomes a little bit difficult. So, but not to be.
I guess as a coach, losing Luke McDonald again, he didn't play the first three games. You only had him for maybe 15 minutes today.
Yeah.
Being a reigning best and fairest, how much does that impact? How do you feel losing a guy like that?
Well, he's out there. I mean, they're the guys that you want to lead the ship when there's a little bit of rough seas coming, and so he's not able to do that, and he's really frustrated with that side of things. So from his perspective, it's frustrating, but I guess it's just an opportunity for then that next layer with someone like Nick Larkey, needs to step up into the breach from that side of things. So Luke Daviak-Juniak, he's got to then take a little bit more of that lead when our senior players go down. So it's frustrating. It's part of the game. We don't seem to have had too much luck on those injuries, but we'll keep bringing our young guys through that are ready to play, and we'll give them that exposure, and we'll keep working really hard at training. And what we saw today for the first 3 weeks is a result of us doing a lot of hard work in a short period of time, and that's been really encouraging.
Have you got clarity on how long you'll be missing Jared Pollock?
Not really. It's one of those ones that he can still do some loads, so we can still get some distance into him. It's when and where we can actually increase his speed. So could be 3, could be 5. It's one of those ones that's probably in that range, I think, is what we're thinking. And we just need to be a little bit more cautious with him this time through, to make sure that there's a little bit more depth in his rehab. We're pretty happy where he was when he played, obviously, but then with a reoccurrence, it tends to just need to be a little bit more conservative.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys.